One second. All right, so this is Philly. All right, Philly, stand up. Let's see what we got, Philly. What y'all do out there?
The dress code is oppressive.
Anger and frustration among students from the Philadelphia High School for Creative and Performing Arts. On Monday, dozens walked out of class in response to a recent controversy regarding the school's dress code enforcement. On April 13th, CAP administrators sent out a letter to families reminding them of the school's dress code policy. In the letter, they outlined what students can and cannot wear. Officials say that students who are inappropriately dressed will receive a phone call home, and parents will be requested to immediately bring a change of clothing to the school.
All right, I'm gonna stop them right there. Is this new? This is new? This all sounds normal. They send a notice to the parents to remind the parents of the dress code. The reason why is because they've been lenient with the students. They weren't calling the parents. They weren't sending the students home. So they sent this notice out so that they could start policing the uniforms like they're supposed to. This doesn't sound like some oppressive shit. It's supposed to be oppressive.
The district says its goal is to keep focus on the academic growth of students. On Thursday, officials reported that students in violation of the dress code were redirected to Kappa's cafeteria to address clothing concerns despite the Philadelphia School District's policy stating no students may be excluded from the classroom for a dress code violation.
Who are you talking to?
A video shared with NBC 10 claiming to be shot in that meeting appears to show a verbal confrontation between a staff member and students about the dress code. Lebby Bermea says they were
But why you ain't show the video?
For breaking the dress code.
The room was primarily made up of black curvier women, and it was all women. There was not a single boy in there.
She told NBC 10 over 30 girls were held for an hour.
I am happy that our community is so collaborative, but I am upset that administration is enforcing this in an incredibly wrong way.
CAP officials say that dressing inappropriately can pose a safety risk. Right now, the prohibited list includes see-through clothing, plunging fronts, and open backs. Now some are asking for the dress code to be revised.
I think generally, like, shorts being too short is not going to keep us safe. I think people are going to do things no matter what we're wearing.
Okay, so I get it. The school will always be able to err on the side of caution when they utilize the safety argument. When they say wearing certain things and showing too much skin can make you subject to weirdos. Not saying that it gives permission to the weirdos. I'm just saying that the glisten off your skin is like moth to a flame with them. So the school will always be able to bring up that argument, and they're always going to win that argument. Now, the situation of bringing the kids into the cafeteria and them missing instructional time, because what are they at school for? They're at school for school. According to Pennsylvania Department of Education law, you cannot, take a child out of instructional time for a dress code violation. So they have a point. They just can't take them out of class for it. So the school, although they were wrong for taking them out of class to talk about it and having the administrator yelling and all that, I heard what they said the dress code was. It wasn't that bad. It was talking about women's clothing. So apparently the little girls in the school was dressing a little too fast. And they tried to put a little helmet on it real quick by coming up with a dress code. Then y'all didn't follow the dress code. They sent a letter to the parents. Parents still let your ass go to school the next day with that on. They pulled you into the cafeteria. This is a progression. I don't want y'all tried to make it seem like one day they just did all this. No, this has obviously been an issue for this school. So let's start with what's real. What's real is little girls should not be having they titties out and they backs out in middle and high school. It sounds like that's what y'all need. Because if you don't know what's appropriate to wear to school, then you do need to find appropriate by getting a dress code. And I know they're going to be mad at me. They're going to be like, yeah, you're saying that women are subjecting themselves and objectifying themselves? Yes, to a degree, you are objectifying yourself. You know you got big titties or you got a little booty. You know how them pants fit. You are not surprised when somebody says that's showing a little bit too much skin. You knew how much skin it was showing. Let's stop being disingenuous about this. It was about the young ladies wearing the wrong stuff. What I didn't see was the young men, because they should have been the most upset, because you got to spend all day in school. You at least want somebody to look at, right? And when I was in high school, like there was different styles. You could see this one style and that one style. About a generation or so after me, everybody started being fast as hell. Actually, it was my generation that started. Now we are at the point where even the school having a dress code is something to argue about. They used to argue about the dress codes because of impoverished kids who can't afford the uniforms and blah, blah, blah. They didn't mention it not one time in this story. So it's not about that. It's literally the little girls were doing too much and they tried to put a stamp on it. They kept doing it. This has escalated to what I would call some additional bullshit. So we're going to keep moving. Mm-hmm.